evening, CineNerds. And for this one, I'm just going to say, don't look away. Don't blink. Blink twice. Anyways, go ahead.
I'm GP Cross.
And I'm Tiffany Heatley.
Tiffany Heatley?
Heatley.
Okay.
Heatley.
Because you're bringing the heat?
I am bringing the heat.
All right.
All day, every day.
Well, Tiffany, I believe this is pretty much your choice movie.
It was my pick.
Yep.
And I've seen this movie probably way too many times, and I didn't need to write as many notes as I should have, but I did.
As you should have?
Or no.
More?
I went in pretty detailed notes. So
show the notes on the screen, first of all. For those watching, you can see the notes.
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
But I still want I want them to see this. For those
are hard.
Now, if you're listening, this is just the one movie, the one review. But if you're listening, there's literally like 8 pages of chicken scratch notes. She really went in on this one, so she loves this movie.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Never mind. There's 10.
10 pages of notes.
And then I have to type them out onto my computer and try to figure out what I wrote, which is always fun.
We were talking earlier, and I think with the exception of maybe a couple ones that were like Star Wars or something that JP and I are passionate about, I don't think we've ever had more than a page of notes. So she's coming into this with the heat.
Bringing the heat.
Yeah, I mean, I usually type mine out on my notepad on my phone, so I don't know how many pages mine normally are, but it's probably no more than half a page to a page at most.
Well, our first 2 times, it wasn't this bad. I don't know what happened this time.
No.
So.
See, this is good though, because the reason. So first of all, I want to rewind about this movie a little bit, because this movie was one of those ones that I talk about always being in the queue that you always put to the back burner and you just push off and you don't watch it. Because I do want to say, if you look to the bottom of the screen, I guess on this screen it would be to my right. That's the actual movie cover, the Blink Twice movie cover with the Polaroid camera with Channing Tatum. Now, that alone in itself does not pull me in, didn't make me think anything about the topic and the subject matter of this movie. I get on the first phone call with Tiff. We start talking just to get to know each other before we start recording some of our podcasts. And she asked specifically about this movie. And my wife has talked highly about this movie. Tiff was going on about this movie. I'm like, I guess I got to try this. I got to see what this is about. So I watched this, and the wife does a rewatch with me. And I loved it so much so that when we were thinking about new episodes to record and Tiff had mentioned it, I was like, let's go with Tiff's movie, Blink Twice. So for JP and I, this is a first watch. Right.
Yeah, it was a first time watch for me. I had when this was in theaters, I wanted to go to the theater and actually see it. I actually thought it from the trailers it looked interesting, and it was one that I didn't get to the theater like I wanted to. Then once it came out on digital, I just forgot about it and just never watched it. And so yeah, this turned into a first time watch. You know, this is one that's been in the pipeline, but it just kind of got pushed to the side that I didn't watch.
I didn't see it in a theater either. I had to wait till it came out because theaters are expensive.
And where's the streaming right now? I forgot where I watched it even. Was it Hulu or Prime?
Amazon Prime.
Prime, okay. Well, I guess let's go into it from there. JP, what was your initial impression?
I mean, that was my initial impression was I was interested in this, kind of like I was saying, you know. When I first saw the trailer when it hit theaters, I was interested. Then I lost interest and forgot about it. And sitting down and watching it for a first time, I see how people will like this film.
All right, sweet.
That's where I'll that's where I'll leave this. I understand why people will like this film. The cast is great. It's beautifully shot. That's
has the best soundtrack too. Oh, it's got a good soundtrack. You are so underdoing it.
Are you watching him, Tiff? He keeps there's every time he says a sentence, there's a but.
I know
he wants to say but he's not.
I keep going.
Yeah, there's a but in there. There's a but in there.
See,
is it a huge big old butt?
If I have to guess, and I'm just going to guess, JP was uncomfortable with some of the subject matter. That's all.
Well, yes.
You know, I wasn't uncomfortable as much as I was bored.
Oh,
Really? I wasn't bored at
oh,
all. I
oh.
was actually impressed with this one.
I
Um,
was
but
too.
Yeah.
yeah, so I guess I'll go into my initial from there then. So again, like I said, the movie poster does not do this movie justice at all. I think it probably is why everybody that I know puts it on the back burner, doesn't give it a chance. But given this past year, the subject matter of this movie is more relative than ever. So my initial impression while watching this was completely thrown a nice little curveball. But pretty early on in the movie, it was predictable. I will say that. But the movie definitely pulled me in. I was happy with how it ended. I was happy with the way that it all unfolded. I don't think it was done wrong in any way. I think that Zoe Kravitz did a solid directorial debut here.
Yes. I agree. Not that I wasn't going to agree anyway, because I love this movie. I was so impressed with her direction or her directing it. I was so impressed with every way it was shot, the small different little hints that you don't realize that are happening yet, and then you finally are when it all comes together, you're like, "Holy shit. This is crazy." I don't get super excited about some movies, but because everything just seems so predictable these days, I get goosebumps just talking about this damn movie because it was so on point, especially with the stuff that's going on in the news right now and have that has been going on in the news in the last few years, but mainly recently. So I was super impressed.
See, to me, what you just said, the whole goosebumps, how much you love this movie, everything you built in is, I think that's why we all like doing this. I think this is, when you find a movie that makes you feel different ways, it makes you feel like it's pulling you in, it's got something that is alluring to it. That's what makes all this exciting. I love a good movie that pulls you in and makes you think through things and it gives you the chills for the first time, or it makes you feel a
Yes.
certain way, reminds you of a certain moment. Movies are magical like that. So, but but
That's how I felt about Curse of the Queer Wolf.
Shut
you
your
couldn't
mouth.
even say that straight because you couldn't say it with a serious face, JP. You keep your quiet bullshit to yourself. But
Just wait.
I'm glad that that movie was magical enough to make you feel something like you were pulled towards your inner self, the real self. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It says a lot about you too.
You and Christy Holmes' husband love that movie. No one saw the news, huh? Christy
Wait,
Holm,
no, I didn't see that.
Oh, is
she's
that that political thing that's going on with?
she get so this is recent events. We're filming this on in 1st of April. So in the past couple of days, Mrs. Holm, who's recently fired as the head of our lovely Homeland, whatever it is, her husband was screenshotted, and they sent pictures of him cross-dressing with breasts,
Oh, I saw
and
that.
so it's just yeah, it's kind of funny. So Chris, he must have been bit by a
Wait,
queer wolf.
I say he could have been
there's no
bit.
other explanation.
He was
Could have
bit.
been bit.
Is bit.
We do have a rare moon tonight on the first too. It's some kind of
Pink
pink moon.
moon.
Yeah, pink moon. Yes. So who knows? Queer wolf.
Maybe I need to have my John Wayne necklace on.
You have a
God,
John Wayne
I've
necklace?
no. It's part of the movie. It's part of Queer Wolf.
Oh God,
The powers.
sorry.
The powers.
I
that
forgot
be.
about that.
So getting back to the topic though,
Oh my
this movie is really, really a solid movie in my opinion. We're gonna dig into it a little bit here though, and let you guys develop your own opinions. If you haven't seen it yet, as always, there's spoilers ahead. So press pause and come back and check this out later. But if you're in for the ride, buckle up. Let's do this.
buckle up, Buttercup.
Well, you got a synopsis for us?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Or
The
P.
end.
Diddy. Or P.
The
Diddy.
end.
The end.
All right,
That's
let's
it.
review the movie. That's
Move
it.
on.
Well, here's what I do find funny about this movie. So synopsis wise, I say Jeffrey Epstein because it is about an island where people are being sexually abused. things are happening, things that are not being remembered that are happening, which is what gives this a little bit of a different spin. Now, the craziness about this movie is as it unfolds, you are all of a sudden finding out the severity of these acts as they're happening. So we've got a couple women who are best friends. They have dreams of making it big. They're essentially servers. They're not doing too much of their lives. They want big money fast too. So all of a sudden they're working a party, and at this party they are, they're trying. I forgot what they did because I watched this a couple weeks
They
ago.
were they're both cocktail waitresses for a catering gig that
Well,
was
yeah,
big.
but they hid the outfit, their uniforms, and they put on
Yeah,
actual
they did.
dresses, and they
Yeah.
kind of coerced their way into this gig, this big thing. Which there's the head of this party, the person throwing this party, is played by Channing Tatum, a character named Slater, and Slater is one of the richest men in the world. Blah blah blah, and all of a sudden Slater is drawn towards Frida, not with the eyebrow, is drawn towards Frida, and but Frida doesn't know why. Why would this guy be interested in me? Why is he being drawn towards me? And before she knows it, he's inviting her to go to his private island. Sound like something we've heard of lately? I don't know.
I
Island?
mean, it's a nice island.
Well, and I found out it wasn't actually an island where it was shot. It was in Mexico, but whatever.
Yeah,
There's like
yeah.
Mexico
I saw.
City or
I did
something.
read that. Yeah.
But yeah, so that is the synopsis. I mean, and we'll get into how it all pans out and plays out. But I do want to point out that Zoe Kravitz is she co-wrote this with a gentleman named, what's his name, E.T. Feinbaum. I hope I'm saying that right. And then she directed this. Now, when she first wrote it, she wrote it under the name Pussy Island.
Oh man, you stole my line. I was gonna tell you that.
So I'm
Ah,
sorry. I did. I get into this shit. This is the shit that makes me love the movies more when you find out
right.
these little things that build it together. So
Ah,
Pussy Island was what you wanted this to be called, and that was in 2017. So we're literally 9 years prior to all the shit we're understanding now. Now, Zoe Kravitz doing that was a bold move in 2017 because this was all happening and well back. I mean, I'm sure this was happening in decades back that the
oh,
Epstein
yeah.
Island stuff was going on. So the fact that she was willing to try and put out a fictional approach of this for her, for by it's basically saying it without saying it, like this shit's happening. I thought that was bold. I thought it was amazing. And then also of note, like with Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum, they were together while they made this. They were a couple while this was being made, and I do remember after watching this now and doing my digging that they broke up abruptly after this was made and no one knew why. And I don't know if it was like a marketing or promotional
Huh.
aspect, but it was right when the movie was getting released that they broke up and everyone was going crazy talking about it. And I had forgotten that until we watched this.
I didn't even know that. But thank you for stealing part of my notes.
Hey, JP and I do this all
Pussy
the time.
Island. Pussy Island.
Pussy Island.
Well,
Well,
I got lots more notes. I hope I don't cross. Hopefully I'm not crossing streams here.
All right,
oh
so
well, we
I'm
can
gonna
cross streams.
I'm gonna read off a few of my notes just to get us up to speed.
All right.
So as I was watching this, I literally write 11 minutes in. This is a slow start. 20 minutes in. This is still a bog. 30 minutes in.
No.
Wait, nope. That was a different note. But you see a trend there. The first hour for me was a fucking bog in this movie. There was
Oh
some
my
interesting
gosh.
things, but I mean, they literally spent an hour getting to the island and then just partying on the island for an
What?
hour.
There's a point to that though, because they were showing that they were doing this. They were literally going through this for days and days, repeating the same process every day to the point where the women didn't even know what day it was. It was all just a blur.
And I agree with that sentiment because there was a reason for that I felt in this time, and it's one of the few times that I was okay with the pacing being a little slow because it wasn't that they have to. It's almost like 50 First Dates, the Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore.
Right.
It's you're waking up every morning and it's a fresh start, right? It's a
Yeah.
whole new day, and this is a whole new adventure to these people, these aristocrats, these billionaires that are they're trying to take advantage of these women, and they are just resetting the play stage. So I was okay once I got to, like, at first I agreed with you, JP. I was like, God damn, this is slow. What the fuck is going on? I was definitely put that way. But then as what was unfolding started unfolding, I was like, okay, there's a reason why they had to build the stage. And so I was okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, once the stage was set, it got it got better, it got interesting, but yeah, that for me that first hour it was painful slow for me. Like I was just like, oh my god, I wanted to
Oh,
see this. I wanted to see this. Why? Like it was.
wait till you hear my queer wolf notes then, because if you think that was pain, if that this is painful.
JP, I was gonna say it. She said it first, but I'm gonna get more detailed and granular with this. Queer Wolf is only 16 minutes shorter than this movie, and you know what? It's way drags worse,
Nah,
way worse.
nah, nah,
Yes,
nah.
yes. I just have one thing to go backwards and kind of say, because we do our ADHD thing around here. Um, I want to know
Dolphining.
how
It's called dolphining.
squirreling, whatever we whatever we want to call it. I want to know how they were at work and they were supposed to be working, changed clothes in the bathroom, and nobody else that was working as a waitress or a caterer there happened to notice
They did.
their did
There
they?
was there was an employee who noticed, but it
Was
was
it the
when the one woman was whenever she ran to help that woman, that was when the other employees caught on, and they're like, "Hey, wait a minute,
because
you're."
I was like, how did you just get away with that? Because I can't even, I don't think I could even call into work without getting caught. And they were blatantly like just out and about amongst their coworkers. And if you noticed in the beginning, the her boss, Frida and Jess's boss says to her, "This year be less chatty,"
Yeah,
which says,
yeah. That they had done this before. Yeah, and
or at least Frida.
yeah,
Well, I think that they thought they were employees of this event. I think that's the way I took that. I didn't take it as that. Now, shortly after that, when introductions are happening, there is a scene where Slater introduces where is it? Slater introduces him to Stash. Stash is the guy's name, I believe.
His therapist.
Stace. Yeah, and Stash looks at Frida and goes, "Nice to see you," like he had known her all along, and that was where everything started clicking for
And
me,
then she
honestly.
says, "Blink twice if I'm in trouble."
Oh yeah, yeah. There's that
And
too. Yeah,
Slater says, "Okay, let's not do that."
yeah. The blink twice. Was that to the same person? Was that Stash?
Yes, I
Okay.
believe so.
Yeah, the party therapist.
Yes,
I,
the
w-
therapist.
I will say, like at the very beginning of this movie, and to backtrack again, um, the opening scene with Frida, and she's sitting there doom scrolling through TikTok or whatever it is she's on, and it shows the side of her head, and you see the scar on the side of her head. Um, I actually wrote down, it's like that scar is going to come back into play for something, and it does. I mean, obviously by the end of the film, it does. So that was like one of my very first notes, and it was one of the first things I noticed was this little scar on the side of her head.
Yeah, no, it's one of those instances where you when they're hyper focusing on something, a detail, and you're like, okay, there's a reason why they're hyper focusing here.
Right.
So when they focus on that scar, I was like, oh, okay, that's going to be something. I thought the same thing as well. And when it happened, when we got to see what it was from, I was like, oh,
Right.
so it was kind of cool.
Right. See, I mean this movie has a lot of I mean, I haven't ever seen a movie where there was a trigger warning in the beginning of a movie. And this one had a trigger warning. So I was like, "Oh, well then this is going to be something pretty messed up." I mean, I've never seen a trigger warning prior to a movie.
That
Have
was
you?
that was an
I
MGM
see some.
thing. They put it on the movie ahead of the process of ahead of just trying to calm people down a little bit because when it got released, we were still getting into. I think that at that time the Epstein thing was becoming. It was just starting to come to the surface for public facing opinions and people to be whatever. So when this movie happened to release, the trigger warning thing was put in place just as a preventative measure because it's
Uh,
a lot.
And
Zoe,
kind of like Assassination Nation. They did the same for Assassination Nation.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
JP, that is, I'm still gonna thank you for that one. That
Yeah.
one is that one I was happy to add to my collection. So Tiff, if you haven't seen Assassination Nation, there's one for your list. It's solid. It is such a good flick. I think you'll enjoy it a lot.
Since I have the brain of Dory, I'm gonna need you to text that to me so I don't
No,
forget. It's
just keep
already gone.
swimming. Just keep
Just keep
swimming.
swimming. It's already gone. What was it again? No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously though, please.
So one of my next notes after I went through all the this movie's a bog, this is slow, this is a slow start. So talking about the scar, 30 minutes in, I wrote 30 minutes in, and he asked Frida about the scar. I noticed this in the first scene while she was watching TikToks about him. Did he do this to her and doesn't remember who she is, or is she doing something out of revenge? So this is where my thought is in the first 30 minutes in, and because it goes back to the scar.
And that's a fair guess. I like that you didn't know if she was up to something,
Right.
and keeping it low key, or if it's because of something he did. So that's fair. That's fair at that point, completely.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even think of it that way. So I that's a whole different thing I wasn't even thinking of.
Before, because we're about to really dig into the movie, I feel, and we're already 21 minutes in. So
Oh,
I want to go over one thing real quick before we dive into this, just so you guys understand. Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut with Channing Tatum pulled in quite the cast for this. So Slater, the main character, obviously played by Channing. Frida was played by Naomi Achi.
Aki? Aki?
Her best friend Jess, nothing crazy. We don't really know much about her as an actress, but Alias
I've
Shawkat.
seen her in a couple of things. Shawkat, I've seen
I,
her in a couple of
But
things.
wasn't
but
she in Falcon and Winter Soldier?
oh, she was the girl with the red curly, like the curly red hair. I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, the TV series.
Hmm.
But then we get into Christian Slater playing Vic. You've got Haley Joe Osment playing Tom. Levin Hawk, another Hawk child, is in this playing Lucas. Gina Davis is in this playing Stacy. Saul Williams, if you don't know who he is, he's an amazing musician. I had to put that one in there for me. He's the MC who's at the party. And
I
Kyle
love Saul.
McLaughlin playing Rich. I mean, there's such like high level actors in this that I was completely just like, I was like, this has some substance to it. So
I mean, you forgot Zoe Kravitz being in her own movie.
well, I didn't remember whatever part she was in, because if she was in it, she's in it like a blink of an eye.
No, she's in it through the whole movie.
What is she doing?
She's one of the women that is on the island too. She is. I don't remember her name.
No,
No,
she's
Yes,
not.
yes, she is.
no,
No,
she's
she's
not.
Yes,
not.
she is.
You're wrong on this one.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, she's not even credited as an actress in this.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna.
Yeah, she's
Well,
not even credited
please,
as an actress in this.
please do. I think you're mixing Zoe Kravitz up with Adria Arjona, because there's similarities there.
Yeah,
I
they're
can't work
similar,
my
but
phone.
they're
Hold
not.
on.
That's definitely not Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, it's either Adria, or maybe it could be the girl that played Heather that was True.
It doesn't
But
say the name. It says her literally in the cast in the IMBD thing.
I'm in there.
Why do
So,
I see it? You don't.
well, you keep looking.
I'll
Then,
be still be here tomorrow, probably trying to
uh,
figure this out.
so we had gotten on the point we talked about. So essentially, you've got some servers. The servers are played by the two main protagonists, being Frida and her best friend Jess. They infiltrate a high level party by, they kind of Fight Club this scene. They get in there with the servers outfits, and then they throw on the dresses to be part of the upper elite. And if something happens where somebody almost dies, Frida steps in. She saves this individual. It's kind of public facing. This gets Slater's attention, played by Channing Tatum. So all of a sudden, they're part of this inner circle. Oddly, it was very abrupt, but they get invited to his island, Slater's Island, who is basically a multi-billionaire. He's owns his own tech company, yada yada. And the events start unfolding as they get to this hotel that seems like it's paradise. It literally, there's a flower everyone keeps carrying around. It's a weird pink,
Hysteria.
yeah, it's a like pink purple flower that as part of the reason these people are there and going through the things they do, which we'll get into. But the events just start kind of unfolding here where you start getting a little confused. But the first couple days these guys are there, everything seems like literally paradise. Everything's being, their every needs being taken care of, whether it be clothes, whether it be their sleeping quarters, the food they want, whatever, as long as they're happy, and they keep trying to drag this out.
And if you notice, I don't know how many times um, Slater asks, but through the whole entire movie, he keeps repeatedly asking the women, "Are you having a good time? Are you having a good time?" It's constant throughout there, and they always say, "I'm having a great time."
You know what else is repeated over and over? Forgetting.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, sorry.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
So that was done in one take. I actually looked that's later, but that was all in one take because Channing Tatum's like, because if I don't do it right the first time, he goes, it's not gonna be genuine. It won't be sincere.
I really love him as an actor. I don't think there's ever been anything that he's played in and it's not because he's extremely attractive. Okay, it's just he's has nothing to do with that at all. He's just
She
a
really
really,
liked
really
Magic
good
Mike.
actor. I didn't hate it. He's a great dancer. He's fantastic.
See, that would be some fuckery. If you do end up coming on full time, Tiff, that would be some fuckery to make us watch
Stop
right
with
there.
the it.
I've
Oh,
seen
it's on.
I've seen Magic Mike. I'll watch it again.
No.
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. I don't give.
I'm gonna read the cliff notes and I'll just be part. I'll be part.
Since you guys made me do Curse of the Queer Wolf, I am gonna pick.
Whoa, there's no you guys. I wouldn't force
Oh.
it on anyone.
I seem to
would not
I,
do that to you.
I seem to think he said something about it was a rite of passage. You had to do it.
He did. He said it was my initiation.
All I wanted was your opinion. I didn't need you to like dive head first in. That was your choice. I didn't say watch it or else.
Oh, just
No one was holding your arm behind
you
your back.
keep
No one
saying
had a knife.
if, so I have to prove my worth here.
Are
And
you
if I
hearing? Are you hearing if or is it Tiff?
I am a narcissist. It could be Tiff.
So
it's definitely Tiff.
I
So
know
to-
narcissist. You're not. You're good.
So to correct something from a second ago, Zoe Kravitz was in this film.
Playing
She
what?
was not the main cast, though. So Tiff, you were wrong.
Okay.
But she played
Oh,
a
she's a
small
stewardess.
swanky stewardess.
Yes, thank you.
But she's literally in it for like a nut hair.
Yeah, just
Nut hair. I
2
knew she
seconds.
was in it. I swear I thought she was. I thought she was the other girl that was one of the main women, but because they look a lot alike.
They
I
do
mean,
look a lot
very
alike.
similar. Both very beautiful. So I mean, I'm sorry.
All right, so the first hour of this film, we've literally covered it. They party. It's rinse, repeat, party. They wake up, clean clothes, party again, do drugs, drink, eat, go to sleep, wake up, rinse, repeat. It's the same thing for an hour, other than you notice subtle differences. So
Yeah, no, it's to the point where the woman who plays Frida and her best friend Jess is getting really into this. Now, the things that are happening as these repeated days, nobody can tell them what day it is. Nobody can tell them, what they did a couple days ago, how long they've been there. They start losing ideas of time and perception of time. So that's where that whole line that keeps getting repeated, forgetting is a gift, keeps getting kind of installed.
Gift.
Yeah, so that keeps getting like played and pushed into them. And all the while these flowers are everywhere and these flowers are playing a part. That was another thing they hyper focused on besides her scar. So I was very like, the flower.
and the
So that-
snakes.
And the snakes.
The deadly lash viper.
The deadly lash viper that was actually
Infestation.
not a viper.
It was a python.
Is a python and not venomous. So it was kind of funny. Yeah. I mean, they probably did it for their actors and actresses to make sure they're safe, but still.
Well, yeah. I mean, damn. I didn't.
So
those
as this,
those those are those little things that were like, we did the anime episode, and when we did the anime episode, I was talking about Ghost in the Shell, and in Ghost in the Shell, when they used to draw the anime by hand, the they would pay attention to every little detail, every little nuance, the shadowing, everything like that. And I use that reference because in this one with the snake, like I feel like that's something they should have covered a little more thoroughly. That's one of those
Right.
little attentions to detail that I feel matters, especially when I read it afterwards. Because I guess if you're watching it, and you don't know anything about snakes. Okay, that makes sense. It's a snake. It bit her. Blah blah blah. But
I
because it matters,
It did. Yeah. Now, my daughters had 7 snakes, so you would think I would have known better, but no, I right over my head. And are bypassing a huge thing that happened, where after Slater shows Frida into her room, she sees the house cleaning lady that's cleaning her room, and she goes in there to ask her what her name is, and she doesn't speak very much
the old
English.
lady. Yes,
Yeah, the creepy house lady. And she just keeps yelling red rabbit at her as if she knows her. Like, hey, I know you. You're Red Rabbit. And she's like, Frida's so confused on what the hell is she talking about? Like, okay. And then the lady just leaves abruptly, leaves all of her stuff, just leaves.
yeah,
And never ever, if you go anywhere and a group of people ask you to put your phone into a basket, do you ever give your phone up? That is a huge red flag. I'm not giving my phone up. I don't care what you say.
and it wasn't even just like a do it or else. It was you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. It's your
Exactly.
comfort. So fuck yeah, my phone would have stayed with me.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't even like yonder bags at concerts. If bands do that, I won't even go to the show. I think
Not
it's
giving up
stupid.
my stuff. I will not.
Yeah, I'll talk about yonder bags for a sec, but like the bands that do that at shows, like I feel like we're in a modern day and age. Like if you can't get past the cell phone in your audience, that's an issue. And I understand people should be present in the moment, watching the show,
Right.
enjoying the show. I understand all those things,
Right.
but for some people, catching those moments and having those memories matters. As somebody who had a relative who had Alzheimer's and they might not remember that memory might matter. So, like to me, like I just feel like, yeah, this the fuck that. I'd keep my
That's
phone.
a huge thing for me. I take so many pictures because of the fact that runs in my family that I'm afraid that one day that's going to be me. I have like 16,000 pictures. My husband had to buy extra cloud storage just for me and my pictures. Take pictures of everything.
so back to Blink Twice.
Sorry. Squirrel.
Um, Squirrel. Um, so after days and days or weeks and weeks, you don't know how long they're actually there. Jess gets bitten by a snake, and they're like, "Oh well, it's venomous, but you're fine." And then
You're good.
the night goes on. They continue partying. The next day, what's her name? Frida. She wakes up and goes upon her day just like normal, and Jess is no longer there.
Now, I want to dig into that before you go further because I know where you're going and this matters. So, all the way to the beginning of this film and all the way through up till now, there's a thing with Jess and her lighter.
Yes.
She loves this lighter of hers and she refuses to let anyone steal their lighter. And if you're a pothead, if you're a smoker, whatever your cup of tea, you know how important a lighter can be. A lighter matters.
I identified with this.
So Jess was
JP felt
emphatic.
this.
Yeah, she was emphatic about getting her lighter back. So when she goes missing and Frida's kind of forgetting about her initially, all of a sudden that lighter pops up. Somebody else has it. Her friend Jess can't be found, and she starts remembering.
Actually, you skipped a part, but
You
that's
skipped a
okay.
part because she
Well,
actually doesn't start remembering until
Until she drinks the
the
snake
juice,
venom.
well,
the snake
well,
venom.
no. Well, she didn't remember directly, but she definitely. There's a long pause when she sees that lighter. There's definitely like they pan to her, and she's like, what's going on? Why do I know this lighter? Why do I need to know about this lighter? Like, because that's how forgetful these flowers are making her.
Because Jess even says at one point, "Who has my lighter? Do I need to write my name on it?"
Yeah.
Yes. Now, before we go further, because this is where things are going to start unfolding, I do want to give this correlation, this connection, and this is my last little bit of trivia tie-in here. But
Pussy
Zoe
Island.
Close. Zoe Kravitz's mom was Lisa Bonet.
Yes.
Lisa Bonet was on the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
And who's in who's in jail for doing things to people they shouldn't have been doing?
Well, he's
Mr.
not in
Bill
jail
Cosby.
anymore.
I
Is he
think
out?
died, didn't
Yeah,
he?
they let
No,
him
he
out.
didn't. He didn't die, but
Oh.
They, no,
they
no, he got out a couple years ago on technicality.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Dead serious. That happened. Dead serious. He's not in
All
jail.
right.
See, this is why this movie is even more of a point. You can have all the money in the world. You can do all this messed up stuff and just
What-
skirt right past it.
What's the new nickname for the person they found in Florida? Looks like Jeffrey Epstein. It's like
something Pete.
Tampa
Palm Beach
Pete.
Pete. Palm
or-
Beach Pete.
Yeah,
It's
Palm Beach Pete.
Pete.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyways, so I didn't know that, JP. You just blew my mind. So now I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, that was a big thing. He got released on a technicality. Like
Oh
it
my
was
God.
something that the lawyers or cops did that was infringed on his rights. That it got the whole after he was convicted, it got the whole case thrown out.
That's insane. Are they going to bring back fudge pops then? Fudgesicles? Jello pudding pops?
Pudding pop. Jesus Christ.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Frida pudding pop. It's got eyebrow included. Anyways,
He was released. He was released from prison on June 30th, 2021, after Pennsylvania's Supreme Court overturned the 2018 sexual assault conviction, citing a violation of his rights. Although the jury found him liable in 2026 civil suit, he is not currently incarcerated.
All those jurors got a buttload of money, I bet.
well, Pill Cosby. Yes, I said Pill. Pill Cosby is a piece of shit, and he needs to go back in jail, or someone else should have a meeting with him, get coffee, put
Yes.
something in his drink.
He
Mhm.
I
Jello.
digress. And it's pudding pop.
Give us some
Anyways.
Hysteria. Hysteria.
So, all right. So let's get back into Blink Twice. Sorry. Yeah, well, that one was deep because I didn't know about Bill Cosby being out, and
I
I'm,
didn't either.
I'm low key pissed. Like that
Yeah,
just
no,
made me
That-
heated.
I
Very
just I was furious when it happened. This is why I don't watch the news anymore, because like when all this stuff was happening, I stayed angry all the time. And I remember this is one of those times that I was like super angry that this guy just got out of prison on a technicality, and then now I avoid news because I'm much happier and more
That's
relaxed.
where I am right now. That's exactly where I am right now.
I avoid news to an extent, but at the same time, it's important to understand the world's current events. And like to me, even if it's put in someone's favor one way or another, what we're seeing happen now, and this movie gives kind of relevance to that, is you see a plethora of pieces of shit running our government who are known pedophiles that are clearly
Exactly.
evident. And the fact that this movie isn't even being talked about right now, that's what's weird to me. I don't think enough people know that this movie is pointing out what was going on almost 10 years before we're seeing this come to the surface. 10 years before the population's angry. You got Trump who's pardoning everyone. Trump who's trying to let everyone get away with this. You got our other heads of state saying, if we do anything, it'll burn the whole system down. Good. Burn it all fucking down. I'm over this shit. And Bill Cosby being free too. Oh, I'm angry now. Sorry.
So,
Welcome to
little bit-
2026.
Fuck.
a little bit of I just wanted to kind of bring up what we already talked about, like why she wrote this movie and how you brought up in 2017. I actually wrote a quote down from her saying, in the summer of 2017, I had come to a place of frustration with society and culture dynamics. I went home one day after talking to a friend and I wrote down the original title of the film, Pussy Island. And this came after seeing things that her mom went through, along with herself and many other women, stating that it is interesting to having to rewrite the story based off of what was happening culturally. since she was a part of the hashtag Me Too movement with I forgot that one, Harvey Weinstein.
We just talked about him too.
Hmm.
So that's why she ended up writing this. It's not, she says it's not actually based off Epstein or P. Diddy, because I found a lot of P. Diddy things like in here as well. But she said it's not actually about that, but I don't know if it's, I don't
It
know. There's
it
too many
it,
similarities.
it doesn't matter. It's people in positions of power who are abusing their authority and using their power, their fame to get away with bullshit. And if it's hurting
Everything.
kids, if it's hurting women, hurting people in general, it's just bullshit. So
Yes,
don't blink twice because these people will get away with it if you do.
exactly. And they'll just say sorry.
So
So
Snake Venom gives her memory back.
I'm gonna drink my steak venom.
JP bringing it back around.
So Snake Venom gets starts makes causes Frida to start getting her memory back, and she remembers her friend Jess was there, and now she's gone. Even her little bungalow that she was sleeping in is turned into a storage area now, and um, she befriends another one of the characters. What was the
Sarah.
girl's Sarah, and gives her the snake venom, and she starts remembering. They actually take the snake venom and mix it in alcohol to give to the other girls to make them start remembering. They have figured out that the snake venom is the flowers are making them forget, and the snake venom's helping them remember. And Frida is getting a lot of flashes of being attacked, of things that had happened, and so on. And it really this is where this film really escalates, and it almost turns into a Quentin Tarantino style film at this point, towards closer to the end. With the once these girls start remembering
Oh,
what
yeah.
has happened. Um, so um, they are remembering that basically every night that all these guys are abusing them, like tying them to statues and beating them and sexually assaulting them and doing all these things to them. And did I understand it that the character of uh Lucas, he was actually being abused too?
Yes.
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 Yeah, that's I thought. I want to make sure I understood that right. That it
Hmm.
was the girls
And Lucas.
and Lucas. So he was even being abused and attacked. So and they're getting their memories back, and and once these girls remember, they're pissed. Rightfully so.
I mean, yeah.
Really.
Rightfully so. Um, and they get a couple of the girls absolutely flip out, lose their fucking mind. There's some uncomfortable scenes before this where Frida and Sarah are still pretending to be um, under the flowers' control, making them forget, and it made for some pretty tense scenes, especially the dinner table scene before everything escalates.
Oh man, I wanted to bring up my favorite part of the whole, when Frida is going through and finding, like, she's trying to find clues about what's going on, and she tells Jess to be on the lookout because the men are out on their fishing trip, and she said, "I'm gonna go look and find out what the hell's going on. You stay here and keep getting the women to drink the shots, and if the men come back, I want you to yell fat blunts." And she is trying so hard, and the men come back, and she is trying so hard, and she keeps saying, "Who wants to smoke one of these fat blunts?" And she's screaming it. And I just thought that was, I couldn't not laugh at that, because she says it like 3 times. She's like screaming it, and at one point she screams it for like 30 seconds, and they look at her and they're like, "Are you okay?" Like,
Man, she
what are
really
you
She
wants some blunts.
she was hilarious
fat
too, by the way. The
blunts?
way she went out, I was definitely like here for it because she was pissed, rightfully so. But she was probably, I think she was one of the more angry ones, that when she went at her abusers, she went at them.
Yeah,
Full scream.
I was pretty happy with that as well. Yeah, the fat blunts part. And we also forgot to mention that Frida found a bunch of Polaroids, and she also has a flash of where Jess went. And they unalived Jess because she wasn't forgetting because she was bitten by the snake,
Hmm. Yeah,
and so they killed her, and she remembered that.
yeah. There's it's a cool scene. All these little flashback scenes with them remembering, I think, are great. That one's great because she actually sees her friend, get killed, unalived, and but then like all the flashbacks of them remembering, uh, of them being attacked and whatnot, and when the girls start waking up, like, um, the one girl like going on a stabbing spree on the with the one guy,
Right.
um, there's I don't know all those little flashbacks of them remembering were I don't I thought they were fantastically shot. I loved it.
I like that Sarah and Frida during the dinner when their women are right before the women start remembering, they're like, oh, because think that Slater was starting to realize, hey, something's a little off. I think something's just not right. So they're like, okay, we should put we should try to show them what a good time we're having. So we're going to start dancing, and we're going to dance on the table and like distract them while they do all these, get on the table and dance. And Sarah drops down onto the table and hides the wine bottle opener, and then dances away and hides it for later. And then Slater's sister all of a sudden remembers everything, and she's just like stopped in her tracks, and the other women are going off. And
Talking about Gina Davis.
yes, Gina Davis, sorry, Stacy, she
So
just loses her.
that's one of my favorite moments because she was so sadistic, and I remember her screaming, "I don't want to
I
remember."
Boys are gonna do what boys are gonna do, and I don't want to remember forgetting as a gift. Yeah, she was going off.
Yeah, so this is one of those movies where like you mentioned the soundtrack. The soundtrack was a
Love
solid
that
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
But at the same time though, I definitely I have fantasies about movies where I write the soundtrack. And
Oh
in this movie, when the women are starting to remember and they're playing the part and they all start going a little nutty,
yeah.
uh, I don't know why, but I had L7 stuck in my head that and we pretend, and it start going like the music kicking in like, so I would love to do my own soundtrack to a movie at some point, just redo the soundtrack my own style and see what happens.
Oh, and also, I can't remember what the name of the lady is, but she's the one that cuts her bangs, the blonde haired chick. She smashes Christian Slater's character Vic in the head with a brick or something, and over again, completely mangling his face, and then gets shot by Slater's bodyguard in the head. So she was out, but I mean, she went out with a bang. I totally didn't mean that the way it came out of my face. But I mean, she, she did some damage on Christian Slater. And I was like, oh no, Christian Slater, no. But then I was like, oh yeah, it's just Vic in this one. So,
So, long story short, to wrap this up, the ladies all remember. They all get their memories back from the snake venom. They ensue their revenge, and the instead. So, the fun part here is Frida's way of going about her revenge. So I'm gonna, since this is your pick, Tiff, I'm gonna let you go into the ending here with Frida and how she takes her full circle here.
oh, I've got to go down in my notes here. Frida. Oh, so, oh, where do I even start?
She uses the flower to her
She
advantage.
does. Well, first of all, um, Frida's tied up, and he's not tied up. Frida's tied up. Slater is getting ready to unalive Sarah, and he's got a knife to her throat, and he's always constantly hitting that vape throughout this movie. So when he hits the vape before he has the knife at Sarah's throat, all of a sudden he's aware of like aware but not aware. He's very confused on what's happening. What happened to Vic? What happened to the girls? What's going on here? Why is there blood everywhere? Who killed so and so? I forgot her name. Sorry. And
Bang bang.
she said, I forget what she says, but then she shows in between her dress that she had spiked his vape with the perfume. Slater then
The
slips.
forgetting perfume. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
from
the
the flower.
forgetting. So
Yeah.
that he's like, what's happening? So he notices that, well, she shows him, hey, I drugged you basically. I will not drugged you, but your karma's a bitch, I guess. And then he ends up hitting his head. And then the building is now being set on fire. And Frida and Sarah get out. And you think they got out alone? No, she keeps Slater alive. And Sarah says to Frida, are you sure you know what you're doing? And Frida's like, I got this.
And from there, she essentially controls Slater, who's a well known billionaire, multi-billionaire. She keeps him alive and takes over his company. And basically, he has no memory of anything that's happened because she's giving him his own medicine. And the movie, is kind of has its own justice, if you will.
Yes.
And I wish that was the end of the story for the real world, but the
No.
movie panned out in a good way for that.
She made Slater her bitch.
Yes.
And I loved it.
Now, and we did leave out a crucial moment here when Slater and her are going back and forth.
Oh, that's sorry.
She has a memory of when she hit her head. So,
Oh, that's right.
and the scar comes to fruition. So everything comes full circle with the scar. Everything that you've known about the scar throughout the movie, you understand why it's happened and how she forgot about it. And I feel like they focused on this. It is huge, and I feel like they focused on it not just because of the scar aspect or the forgetting aspects, but because that factored into it. So it wasn't just the flowers and all the other things. I think she literally had some amnesia happening in addition to all the other stuff.
She found the Polaroid where it had a picture of her with the red rabbit on her and the nails that she made.
Red rabbit.
So she had been there before. She was trying to escape and Slater caught her and she tripped, hit her head on the rock. And also there's another scene where we find out why Vic is missing his pinky because she was she bit it off.
She's feisty.
Yeah. So, I mean, she had been there before and did not remember a damn thing about it.
And that was one thing that I really liked about this movie was that full circle with the scar and her finding out that she had been on this island prior, but she didn't remember. And that was one thing I really liked about this. And I loved during the fight scene or the argument scene at the end, right before he's hitting the vape and stuff. He actually says, it was her. I can't remember if it was him or her, but the line is said, and I love this line: "No forgiving, just forgetting."
There is no forgiving, just forgiveness. Wait, there is no forgiveness, just forgetting. I got it totally backwards.
Yeah. I love that line. And the other thing, and let me see how I'm going to say this. Blah, 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 blah. Words are hard.
Words are hard. Words are hard.
Speaking of full circle,
this this isn't saying much about me, probably, but this is a note that I wrote in here going through this film. And I wrote, and y'all might find this, a lot of people may find this really funny, but I really mean this to a certain degree. I wrote, maybe I'm old. I remember having a high sex drive, but these guys are drugging these women, having sex with them every night. This seems exhausting. Like what? Like this would be an awful life. That was exactly what I wrote.
How are they? I want to know how they weren't waking up with hangovers every freaking day. Every day.
The flowers
Well, I
make them
think that
forget.
That
well, and
flower made him forget that they have a
I
hangover.
mean,
I
yeah,
don't
you still
know.
feel like shit, but that aside though, like I kind of agree. Like that was, I think that's why Frida and Jess started kind of waking up a little early because they're getting sick of it. Like they didn't want to drink, and that's when people started
Well,
looking at them differently when they're like, yeah, no, I'm not in the mood to drink today. And then
Frida was still into it because even when after Jess got bit by the python,
she
not by
no,
the, she was like, I want to leave. Something's wrong. This is messed up. We need to get out of here. And Frida was like, no, I'm finally being seen. What's wrong? You don't like the buffet of drinks
right.
and drugs and partying? What's so awful here? The 120 thread count and all that stuff. Like she really didn't want to leave.
Jess
And then
caught on far earlier than Frida for
yes,
sure.
definitely,
But Frida
definitely.
definitely did catch on, and she stopped as well. And that's when everyone started turning their heads, like, "Are you serious? Like, you don't? Are you really not going to drink? You're not going to hang
Don't
out?"
forget the missing knife. There was a part where the cook, Rex Slater's character, the that was cooking for his friends, he lost his knife, couldn't find it, and then when Frida's starting to remember, she hits the mirror and she remembers that Jess had given her the knife and told her to hide it, and then the knife had fallen out when she hits it, and there was the knife finally. There's so many different things that are hidden that you don't see until the last the last plus plus with all the pictures and the gift bags, we didn't even mention the damn gift bags that are huge in this thing. When Frida goes into the gift bag or office room, whatever it is, she notices that there are pictures of powerful men with their own bottle, with their bottle and their gift bags, with their own Dysteria
Oh, the room.
perfume,
Yeah.
which means he is giving this isn't just based in slow on this island where men are getting away with this is on this island. This means this is far further on into the world where all these men of power are given this perfume to do whatever the hell they want to do with it. So it goes beyond just the whatever the hell's happening
And
on the island.
and it may not be a perfume scenario, but Iran is claiming the same thing, and that's what they said they've got proof, and they're going to throw Trump under the bus and all
I'm
that BS.
I'm so tired of the people saying they have proof. Like, if you have it, just fucking say it
Yeah, I
already.
that
Like,
to me
you
that's a
know,
humanitarian thing. That's not
just
don't hold it over people like
no.
power or
Well,
you've got praise. Yeah, just
we
fucking put it
might
out
give
there.
it to you. And but there were a lot of P Diddy like things that were all in white. P Diddy was notorious for having white parties, and a lot of his victims did not remember anything until people showed them videos or pictures, just like what was happening. And also, a lot of Polaroids being taken on here is very Epstein Island, Epsteinish, So because there were tons of, I don't know why anybody that was doing these crimes would take so many pictures of them doing the crimes. That doesn't seem very smart to me.
Does anyone here the part where Channing Tatum's saying I'm sorry" over and over again?
Yeah, I love that part.
Did that remind anyone of any other movies? Anyone? Anyone?
Anyone?
The Craft,
Bueller? Bueller?
Nancy. When The Craft,
I'm
Oh
when
shit!
Nancy,
sorry.
I'm
yeah,
I'm
sorry. I'm
sorry.
yeah.
sorry. Oh
so
crap!
there was, I guess there was some imagery too. Like I didn't get to go down this rabbit hole as far as I wanted to, but I guess so Channing Tatum and Zoe, part of their whole relationship is if they had an off day, they were watching 4 movies a day. Like Zoe Kravitz is a profound movie lover. And so I guess a lot of this movie has imagery, which makes me want to go back and give it a second and third watch. A lot of imagery in this is because of the horror movies that influenced her, and I feel like that part has to be something from The Craft, in my opinion.
I didn't. Now that you said that, I just went. I see the her doing that in my brain, and I'm
Dude,
sorry.
I will
I
say
love
this: The Craft
love
is
that movie.
spectacular. It's a solid movie.
That is definitely a solid
I
movie.
and
Have
I
you
did.
watched the new one?
I might be in the minority, but I did enjoy the new one.
I did
I
not.
enjoyed the new one.
I didn't hate it, but it can't be it. It can't be the original.
The only
No,
It
it's
the
just
not.
only the only thing with the new one is the ending is very made for TV.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt.
I mean,
Uh, did
you can't redo
did
some things.
any of y'all look at box office budget?
I did. Hold up. Let me go up
Did
25
you look?
pages and
Did
I'll
you
get
look at
there.
it, Ryan?
I did.
So I'm the only one.
Oh, Ryan, for as much squirrels as we have in our brains, we were on it. And
Well,
JP,
no, well, because it's technically your choice. What JP is saying
oh,
is that I shouldn't have.
He
Him and I
shouldn't
should have
have.
been
oh,
guessing, and you should have. So that's kind of. But you did. So we're gonna let you go and let JP guess from your choice.
I'm gonna guess a $10 million budget.
it's higher.
What is it?
It's 20 million. But
Okay.
now what they brought in globally, when I looked at it's I don't know what the hell I was looking at or where I got my stats on this, but it was like 48 million to in between 67.8 million globally. And so I was like, that's kind of a big difference there. So I don't know if what where I got
I
that from.
I do think there's some irregularities for sure in the gross and the U.S. and Canada releases because the U.S. and Canada one was 23,093,906 dollars. Now the gross worldwide one though was 48,093,906 dollars.
See, you got more of
Liter-
a
Literally a $25 million exact difference. So something's a little off there. I don't know what, but there's no way
yeah.
it's exactly 25 million.
And then they had 7.3 million the first opening weekend is what I have. Am I right, Ryan? Or are we looking at two different?
I just read the gross and the
Oh,
worldwide.
okay.
I didn't read the opening
Okay.
weekend, so yeah.
I did. I wanted to have factual facts for everybody.
Normally we do, but I was
And
held back a
normally,
little
and
bit.
normally, and normally, we try to guess what the box office
I
was.
cheated.
Yeah, but I was supposed to guess.
Damn it. Well, you were wrong anyway. You were 10
I,
million off. I mean, they.
that was the budget.
Oh, that was the budget.
I was supposed to guess
Here
the box office as well.
it
Oh shit.
well, you guessed the budget, so we got that far. We're good. It's baby steps.
I quit. Done. I'm out of
Uh,
here. No, I'm just kidding.
who wants to review first? You want me to go first?
Go first, JP.
No, we got to balance this. I feel like I should go first. We'll let JP and then you can go last.
Oh,
because
fine.
because your choice movie and
Oh,
then
that's true. That's true.
yeah and JP seems like he's gonna like this a little bit less than myself, so
And me.
we'll let him be a little balanced.
Okay.
So for me, I feel this is a hyper relevant movie for the times. This movie did not disappoint. I really have a big problem with the movie poster. I think it is
I love
misleading.
it.
I think it's horrible because it did not that movie poster did not in any way, shape, or form make me want to watch the movie.
But
It
look at her
literally looked
face in it.
yeah, but it just looks like he's a stalker with a camera. Like
I
he could be
mean, you're
outside
not
his house.
wrong, but I
Like
mean,
whereas there's this giant, amazing story about an island, which is very relevant to modern day and age. So to me, I feel like this is misleading. I feel like that's not doesn't do the film any kind of service of any kind in a good way. So to me, I wish they would have done a little bit different with that. I feel like the cast is superb. The cast is way better than I anticipated. I enjoy for some reason I geeked out, enjoyed way too much when Haley Joel Osment got killed. He got stabbed right in the throat, and I thought it was spectacular because of the premise and the things that were happening. Even Christian Slater's death was spectacular.
I know.
So the guys that were doing the crimes and the repercussions and the consequences that came to them were spectacular. The build up, as JP mentioned, was a little bit slow, but it had a purpose. So as until I found out that purpose, I was put off. But when I found out the purpose, I was definitely more involved. I like the way that they found a rational explanation to take away the power of the flower with the snake venom, because both species of the flower and the snake are from that island in the story of the movie. So there's a lot of things that came together here to make this movie kind of make sure it connected the dots and felt good in the way that revenge happened, not in the way of what happened.
Right.
So I personally felt really good about this movie. I should have listened to my wife when she told me to watch it initially. I'm glad I listened to Tiff when she was telling me all the good things about it. I put this at a 3.8 nerds for me. So 1.2 away from perfect. That's not saying a horrible thing. So I'm a fan of this movie. I'm gonna give it a rewatch and see if I can catch some of these horror aspects that Zoe incorporated, where she paid respects to other horror movies.
All right, so here's the thing.
Oh, let's start off with, did you hear that breath?
So the cast is amazing. I love the cast in this. I love the look of the film. This beautiful film.
But
but
But like I said, this movie's a bog. The first hour, I mean, it is literally the first hour before anything remotely interesting happens. And that first hour is a fucking bog. Um, but that being said, the last 45 minutes or whatever of the film are good. It's fun. It turns into a mystery film at that point. Um, and was some pretty cool, smart little twist. Um, the ending is good. The thing, I don't know. I'm mixed on the ending with her actually taking control of the Channing Tatum's character, but overall, I loved like the full circle with where her scar come from. You find out that she was on the island before, and I love the girls going crazy.
one ham.
Once they remember in the death scenes, and but it takes a long time to get there. So again, slow, but once it gets there, it's good. I will say I understand why people will like this movie. I wanted to see this movie when it came out. I was excited about this one. Didn't watch it until just now. But I understand why a lot of people will really like this movie. I understand that this movie is very relevant right now. But this movie is not a movie for me. And I did not a fan of it. I never actually want to see this movie again. It was actually just so slow that I don't know if I ever want to sit through the first hour and 10, 15 minutes of this film to get to anything that I found remotely interesting ever again. So that being said,
16 minutes longer than Queer Wolf. Sorry, I tried. I tried. Go ahead.
That being said, I'm putting this in at a 2.9 nerds.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
Ryan, shh. I think JP's a little sus.
Well, I mean, so I will. Here's why I want to piggyback into his review. This is a 2022 movie. So my question to both of you is: don't you think this is kind of par for the course,
it's
though,
2024.
for this? Oh, I turned the page. I was on fresh already. Sorry,
It's all right.
2024.
It's all good.
Now written in 2017, though.
Yes.
But with it being a 2024 movie, regardless, any movies in the 2020s, I have been saying this almost consistently all the time. We have a really rough first hour watch in all these movies. It's slow builds, and then the last hour is what you're really digging into.
Right.
So if we're looking at the track records of most of the movies that are coming out now, I feel like that first hour is par for the course. It's story building. It's what it is. I don't like it necessarily all the time, but it does track for what we're seeing in movies now. So that last hour delivered, and I thought it delivered well. So I agree with where you're going, JP. I understand, and I respect your decision here, but just throwing that out.
Like I said, I get why people will love this film. I'm just
JP,
not one of them.
Can I ask what problem that you said that you kind of have with the way she kind of takes over Slater's company and stuff like that? Why do you feel that way?
So this is my issue with it now because it becomes a little ambiguous. So in my mind, this is where my mind goes is okay, she's taken control of him and his whole life and everything, every aspect of his life. Is she continuing the trend like he is since she's took control of everything?
Oh, it did Keenan to leave it at where with an ending where it didn't
So-
really explain much except for that.
Next up, blink thrice.
Yeah, so to me, it almost
Blink
feels like it turned her into a bad guy.
Oh, see, I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it that way at all.
Wait a minute. Ready or not, motherfucker.
I did watch Ready or Not,
but
by the
but
way.
but I mean, isn't that the same thing? Isn't that the
No,
same
it's not.
premise?
It's
Yeah,
not.
we
She
don't
walked away.
know.
She walked away.
She, as far as we know, in the other one, because she's the leader of the whole fucking cult now, and Elijah Wood's alive. Anyways,
No,
La, 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 la,
she
la.
relinquished that, and two, even if she did keep it, it's Samara Weaving.
Oh, which makes it okay. Just like what Channing Tatum did in here. It's perfectly fine. It's Channing Tatum, okay? Leave him alone. He's sorry, okay? He's sorry.
we're gonna have to put a preface on this now that I said that, right? Because she went la la la. I realized as I was saying it, so make sure we let people know there's might be spoilers for Ready or Not 2 in here too. Fuck.
Tiff, let us know your final thoughts and your review.
You already know. I absolutely love this movie. I thought it had so much. I loved all the different like little hints along the way. It I wasn't expecting it to go full on out the way it did. I liked the women taking over and killing all the men. No
Of
offense. Love
course.
you guys, but women power. I love that she turned around and took full charge of that company. And Slater was just like a shell of his former self. And he was like stuttering, like, where are we going to be next weekend? And she had that big old fat diamond ring on. She was just like, I run this motherfucker now, you know? So I was like, haha, I loved it. I love it. I love this movie. And I give it 4. I'm sorry, JP. I've watched it.
For nerds.
I've literally watched it as the kids say, 6, 7
Several.
times.
Oh my god. Do you want to hear my Halloween costume for this year? Because
What?
you just said that. So my kids were saying, "Oh, Dad, you could be the 6'7" emote," and I looked at them. I'm like, "I'm fat enough now where I've got 2 boobs, so I can do a 6 and a 7 painted on them." And they were not thrilled by that. They're like, "Oh my god, Dad!" And what was it? The new saying that my kids say, and this is appropriate because we're on mics right now, but the video gamers and the kids in this generation, when you're talking just in a regular conversation, they don't want to hear you anymore. Mute your mic. Mute your mic. That's what my kids say to me now instead of shut up. They say mute your mic.
Mute your mic.
So when I told them about my my 6'7" titties, they were like, "Mute your mic, Dad. Mute your mic."
Mute your mic. That hasn't come around to my house yet. So
God, I'm glad mine are grown. That shit ain't being said in my house.
I always say it to my
You'll hear
youngest
it.
one. I say it to my youngest one, and she just says, "Mom, stop."
I love mute your mic so much. I'm saying it to my friends in real life, so it's okay.
I will now take that as well.
I
I'm
told
going to go say it to my husband in a little bit.
I told my kids they were pissing me off the other day. I'm like, you know what? The coolest thing you guys have done in a minute is mute your mic. And I go every time your mom says something to me I don't want to hear. Hey, woman, mute your mic. It doesn't go over well. I get mad.
I'm sure she loves that.
Film recommendations. Anybody got any?
I have. Oh, I'm gonna let you two go first because mine. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go. Mainly because since Tiffany said
Oh,
girl power, and we talked about it a minute ago, we've reviewed it, so I'm gonna recommend it. If you've not seen Assassination Nation, it is a fantastic film, and
Fuck yeah.
it is a girl power film, but it's a murderous girl power film that goes off the rails, and it's a fantastic film. So, and there is trigger warnings at the beginning of the film that'll
And
you off.
I'll piggyback off JP. JP made me watch that one for the review that we did, and I ended up loving that movie so much I bought it the second I finished the movie, literally. And so it is that good of a movie,
what's it
and it's
on?
amazing. I don't know where it's streaming. I know it's on Tubi. I know it's streaming on Tubi
I
for
will
free.
find it.
It's well worth the watch though. It's so good, and it's very relevant to modern day and age especially as far as social media and those types of things. Tiff, what's your recommendation?
It is on Paramount Plus, and it says Prime Video too. So
Oh, okay. I'll
It's
have
not
to
on
give that a
Tubi?
try.
it was, but it must not be on there now.
Okay.
I watched this weekend Send Help, and it was different. But I really, really it it was different. It was so it was not knowing what to expect to because it was kind of very cringy in the beginning. But I'm not going to give away anything, but I thought it was well played, sir, at the end. So that's all I can say.
I just asked my brother to add that to his server that I use because I haven't seen that yet and I
Yeah,
really want to see
I
it.
haven't seen it either. I've been wanting to.
Yeah, JP said it had good reviews. So
My brother got very excited about a movie we reviewed recently that was in there that we added just for JP, and so he's like, "Is JP even using that?" And I go, "Yeah, he's using. We already reviewed a movie from it, buddy." He got really excited, so he's waiting to hear it. So mine is an anti recommendation.
Oh,
I just saw probably the biggest pile of shit I've seen in a long time, and I'm sorry if you liked it, JP. I said JP, yeah, sorry. Jimmy and Stiggs, dude. Holy shit. This trailer and the marketing were spectacular, but the movie fucking sucked. I had to break this movie up into 3 parts to get through it. And I'm part of my OCD and my ADHD is I have to finish what I start, whether it be a series, whether it be a movie, whatever it is. This movie was painful. I felt like I was at like
Queer Wolf,
what's that?
Queer Wolf.
Queer Wolf is pretty painful, but this might be worse than Queer Wolf to me.
What's the
So,
name of? What's it called?
Jimmy and Stiggs,
I
and
have
one
not heard of that.
it's an Eli Roth movie. So
Oh, I love Eli Roth
me
movies.
too, and I had high hopes. I thought it was going to be great. He basically produced and partnered with these 2 guys that made an independent film. So again, it was an independent filmmaker. I got to give respect and love to the idea and the story. I always will do that when it's good. But this movie, though, basically made me feel like I was doing the neon black light golf putt putt shit at the
Oh,
mall because that's what they were using as alien blood. And there's aliens that had locked him down in his apartment. They tried 3 different types of cinematography where you had first person, so you're seeing it through their eyes. You had the normal shoots, and then you had a different cinematography that just didn't. It just all came together very, very forced. It didn't make sense. It didn't work out for me. This movie I felt like should have been on the same budget as Queer Wolf, but it was higher budget and worse.
And
So
you
stay
know,
away from Jimmy and
sorry,
Stick.
I'm laughing because I looked out the Reddit for it.
well, you know, and we've talked about Eli Roth before on this show, and if you
Mhm.
remember, whenever I think it was when we reviewed Thanksgiving. I think I actually made the comment that Eli Roth is very hit and miss, and he has a lot of crap that I just do not like. You know,
But well, so in this instance, Eli Roth was really the backer, the producer. So
yeah,
I can't blame him, but I respect Eli Roth even more for putting this movie out there because this is a good example of like a thanks kill. I feel like this is a thanks killing scenario. So you like the turkey movie. What was that? $1,200 budget, whatever we
yeah,
talked
it was
about.
like $1,500 or something
Yeah,
like that.
and so Thanksgiving had a really low budget. This is one of those movies where everything was done in this dude's apartment. Literally, he made it like there was an alien abduction happening in his apartment, and the way the movie unfolded, it was painful. It was close quarters. There's only 2 people in the movie. I don't know. I just had such high hopes, but I respect Eli Roth for trying to help independent filmmakers go forward. If that
I
makes
love
sense.
independent film. Like I love independent films a lot of the time more than actual high production
I mean, Curse of
movies.
the Queer Wolf is an independent film.
That
But,
no,
but it's just as bad. It's
no,
this low bottom of the barrel for me with Jimmy and Stiggs.
All right,
note
CineNerds
to self.
podcast, CineNerdsPodcast.com.
.com.
.com. You can find all of our episodes there. You can find all of
Right, Ryan.
our schedules coming up. You can go to our shop there. We do have a shop there with all kinds of little goodies, and we still have some posters and stuff there for sale. And yeah, share, write a review, comment, invite your friends, do all the fun stuff.
CineNerdsPodcast.com, motherfuckers.
All right, till next time, guys. Later.
Bye.